Kick it into the crowd.
Oh, no, you got it.
Oh my God. Here. I need to yeah, no change. Yes. Look at that. Yes.
I can tell this way she's on.
She's fine. She just.
Not touching it out.
Oh my God. No, that's all. Yeah, she told me last night. Kidding, right? She's like, this is her only reason to get. I just want to date. That's her only reason for wanting to. That's it. That's the reason. I try to talk to a lot of get together, but I don't know.
Good morning. Let's stand together for some worship this morning. It's good to see you guys. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song. You are beautiful, my sweet, sweet song. And I'll sing again.
communion in just a few minutes. So if you made your way in and got by the table without picking up a communion packet, someone just told me to call it vessel. I don't know if I can do it, communion vessel. I don't know. But if you happen to get in without one, please grab one before we come back together for communion in just a few minutes after a little more worship. If you're a guest with us this morning, welcome. We're so glad you're here. In just a minute, actually, we're really glad you're here. Normally, I would never say this, but whoa, what is up with the last day of Cruising the Coast? People need to come to church and not go to Cruising the Coast. Okay, good. There, I said it. I got it off my chest, and I feel better now. There are some blue baskets on this side that we're going to pass down. Inside of that basket, there is a guest card, and there's offering envelopes and pins and stuff like that. If you would please, if you're a guest with us, if you please grab one of those cards out and fill it out and drop it in the offering. And at the end of the service, that would be great. I'm just going to send you an email afterwards. We're not going to put you on a constant mailing list or anything like that. You may get a little information from the church now and then. But we would really appreciate that if you happen to be a guest with us this morning. I think that's everything. I mentioned communion, the baskets, all that looks good. We are now going to continue with a little more worship. But as we're doing that, would you just shake hands with somebody, give them a high five? You're going to have to move around a little bit to say hello, and that's okay. Now let's just greet each other.
Bless the Lord, my soul, oh my soul, worship His holy name. Sing that this morning. Sing like never before, oh my soul, worship Your holy name. The sun come up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing Your song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me, let me be singing when the evening comes. Bless the Lord, my soul, oh my soul, worship His holy name. Sing like never before, oh my soul, worship Your holy name. You're rich in love and You're slow to anger. Your name is great and Your heart is kind. For all Your goodness I will soul. Worship His holy name. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Sing that. Oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, worship Your holy name. Worship Your holy name. Worship Your holy name.
Amen. Every once in a while, we get to take an opportunity to remember what Jesus did for us on the cross, the value, the very significant, I'm going to say activities of that day. I mean, to say activities is too small. It changed everything. The miracle of the cross. I mean, I think the most significant miracle of that day was that He washed my sin away, made it as if it had never been. And He did that for you. He did that for every person who has ever been or will ever be a Christ follower. God required payment for the sins of the earth, and Jesus made that payment. He made it in my place. He made it in your place. Otherwise, we were going to be required to make the payment ourselves. And I'm really thankful that He stepped in and said they just can't afford it. They can't do it. Not one of them will ever be able to pay for their own mistakes. So I'll do it for them. And so this morning we're going to pause for a couple minutes and thank Him and celebrate what He did for us. And celebrate is the right word. Because if we didn't have His sacrifice to remember and to give thanks for, then we would still be looking down the barrel of, in a way, a loaded gun. We would be unforgiven. And so I'm thankful that this morning we can say that we are because of what Jesus has done. The night before He was crucified, He had the 12 disciples around Him, his best friends, including Judas, who was going to betray Him. He had them all together in a room, and He was, again, trying to explain to them what was about to happen. And they weren't following it. They still didn't understand really why He was here, that He really did come to die. And so as He has the guys sitting around, He's being the kind of wonderful Jesus that He has always been, and trying to explain to them again what it is He's doing, and paint a picture for them of what's about to happen, that the next 12 hours of their life are going to change everything, truly changing everything. And so he picks up some bread, which is something that they had at this particular meal once a year, every year. I mean, they had bread all the time, but at Passover, it was special. It meant something different. And so for them, Passover was kind of like Easter is for us. You kind of do it once a year, and it's a big deal, and you're thankful, and then you carry on, and you don't really think about it again for another year. But he took the bread this time. He said, today, starting today, this bread represents my body. It represents me, Jesus said. And for them, that would have been a little weird because it would have always been sort of a memory of what had happened in Egypt centuries before. And he said, from now on, I don't want you to remember being set free from Egypt. He was saying to these Jewish guys, I want you to remember being set free from sin. That I'm the one that's setting you free from sin. Someone has got to pay the price. I'm going to pay the price. Someone has to be a body that's broken. This is the body. Jesus talking about Himself. This is the body that will be broken. So He passed the bread around. He said, take this and eat this and remember my body that will be broken. And so today, I know for us it's it doesn't seem very sacred to peel back a piece of plastic and take out this odd little wafer. But what it represents changed the universe. Because Jesus, fully God, became also fully man so that His body could be broken. And so today, Jesus, we remember Your body. And I'm thankful that You are still right now in it, that body is alive. People killed it, but You took back life. You took Your life back, and today are watching us, loving us. You're near us, still in that body that was broken for my sins. So we thank You for being our sacrifice. In Your name, amen. Then He took a cup, and again, this would have been weird for the guys that were sitting around because he was saying things that they hadn't heard. He was redefining Passover and really replacing it in a way. Because now instead of it being a Passover of an angel over a community, it was now the Passover of sin from all of us. He was redeeming us. And so he reminded them, and reminds us that God requires payment for sin. And the requirement is a life. That blood has to be shed for sin to be forgiven. Before Jesus, it had always been an animal. But Jesus said, from now on, my blood's going to be the perfect correction for sin, the perfect payment for it. And so Jesus passed the cup around and he said, take this and drink it. Starting today, it represents my blood. Not the blood of the Lamb, but the blood of me, the Son of God. And my blood is going to pay for your sin forever. And so today we pause and we get to remember that and be so thankful for it. It's enormous, and we get used to the idea of how forgiven we are. And today I'm thankful, actually, that I get to be used to it. I don't have to worry about it. I just get to be grateful for his sacrifice. So today we get to pray and say, Jesus, thank you for not just wearing what seemed to be human flesh, that you were indeed completely human. And that there was blood in those veins, and that blood was taken from your body, violently taken, to cover my sin, to wash me whiter than snow, and that it works for everyone. It has forgiven billions of people, and will continue to until you say the time is up. That blood continues to work. So we're thankful for it. Thank you for your blood. In your name, amen. Let's continue to worship with guys.
Times I fail, your mercy remains. Should I stumble again, I'm calling your grace everlasting. Your light will shine when all else fades. Never ending, your glory goes beyond all things. Sing that. Your glory goes beyond all things. God, we know that everything on this earth, God, will one day deteriorate, will rust, and will eventually end up to dust, God. But we know that your word, God, and that you will last forever and ever and ever. And we just thank you for giving us the privilege of serving a God like that who will never, ever dissipate or leave us. Just thank you for that, God. Help that promise just to resonate within us as we worship this morning and as we go out into our lives. God, help people to see an everlasting God, a God that will not fade, living within us. Thank you for blessing us already this morning. We know that you're going to continue to bless us. And we just ask that you just place your hand upon our pastor like you do every week. Open his mouth, God, and just speak through him in a mighty way. More importantly, God, just help us to be really receptive to what it is you want to speak to us through him this morning. Jesus, I love you so much. I know you're going to bless us, and I thank you for it in advance. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you guys. Jenny. You're awesome. Love it. It really threw me out when John